Peace and blessings, family, and welcome to Labors of Love podcast. We are here to inspire, uplift, and enlighten. Each episode, we will be hearing from Black midwives, doulas, and other traditional childbirth supporters who have dedicated their lives to being of service to Black mothers and families in all aspects of the motherhood journey. This evening, I have the privilege of speaking with Candice Dormon. Candice is a wife, boy mom, and entrepreneur. Based in New Haven, Connecticut, she is the CEO and founder of EKOW Body, a body care and wellness company focused on soothing discomfort and fuss-free self-care. Candice believes that sometimes body butter is more than just body butter. Sometimes it makes space for people to be heard so they can get what they need. EKOW is pronounced echo and means boy born on Thursday in the naming tradition of Ghana. The EKOW Body Suite of products provide relief for pain, dry, itchy skin, discomfort from eczema, as well as mood-boosting aromatherapy to inspire and focus positive energy. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Hello. It's always so weird to hear somebody say those things about you. So thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
Absolutely. I can't wait to dig into it because there are so many layers to you. And I am excited that we finally have an opportunity to have this conversation and have it live.
So. Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really thrilled to be here, be a part of this conversation as sort of a complimentary voice to the really important conversation that you're having with your community. So thank you so much for inviting me. Excellent. I'm really excited.
So I only have you for a little while, so we're just going to jump right on into this. I always like starting the conversation with just an understanding of kind of the foundation that we typically have as a society around childbirth. So what were some of your messages about childbirth prior to becoming a mom yourself, or, maybe higher learning or whatever would have exposed you to some additional information?
Sure. I was thinking about this a little bit in preparation for tonight, and I come from a very matriarchal family. There are a lot of women in my family. My mom is the oldest of 4 girls. I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and they're just like girls peppered around everywhere, right? So the voice of moms has always been really strong in my family, and I couldn't pinpoint a very specific sort of message that I remember growing up, but I do remember when I was having a when I was pregnant, I was getting ready. The sort of messaging that I got from my mom was about getting through it, right? Like, it's going to hurt. We just have to get through it. You're going to be fine. You'll be able to like deal with it, but like, it's going to hurt and it's going to be hard, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember being a little bit scared because one of my aunts, she had 4 kids, all without any epidural or without any sort of pain medication. And then my other aunt had a ton of complications and like several miscarriages before. So there's a little bit of fear wrapped around. It's sort of like, it seems like a great idea until it's time to go to the hospital. Right. Like, how are we going to get this baby out? But more importantly, I would say, is once I had my son, I, again, tied to this sort of messaging that it was just going to be hard, like this sort of like callous preparing me for how hard it was going to be, specifically around breastfeeding. And my mom came when I was having a hard time, and she would scratch my back so that it would distract the pain of breastfeeding, because she was like, I was like, is it supposed to hurt? She said, yeah, it's supposed to hurt. Don't think about it. And then she would just scratch like cuff me with a brush or something. Okay. And so I guess the overall thing I'm trying to say is that there was just a lot of messaging around how hard it was going to be, which made it pretty scary.
Gotcha. So did you do any like childbirth education classes or pick up any books or anything to just kind of counter that message, or what was the preparation going
Yeah,
in?
so we signed up for I'm pretty sure we signed up for a labor course, and that was, I think it was a full day, and we got a tour around the hospital and a full day of sort of like explaining what the labor process was going to be like, and what they sort of walk you through. I had my kids at Yale, and so they kind of walk you through the where you come in, what they're going to ask you for, what you're going to need, where you go, who you ask for, like all of that stuff, which of course doesn't matter what they tell you, you don't remember any of that when
Right.
the time comes.
Right.
But it was a lot about the labor process and then a little bit about the going home process. But there wasn't a lot of like, I didn't take an extended class over any period of time. And then I thought that I was going to get a doula, and then it sort of fell through. I sort of was trying to reach out to someone and it didn't really work out. And I was just not I did it after I already had. So it would have been a postpartum doula. And I think she was new. I mean, there were just a lot of misses. And I just wasn't in a position to be like chasing after. It would have been better if I had known to look for her before, right? Like before all the crazy and the sleepless nights and all that stuff, it would have been great to have found a doula so that I know who to call once the time came.
And that's excellent wisdom to share, just knowing that, what the need is, and that even after the actual birth, like this is still just such a vulnerable time of transition and getting used to this new human. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely to know beforehand and have that support, like, to have that wisdom to be able to share that.
I didn't even know I don't think I knew what a doula was
Mhm.
until my I think it was the new pediatrician mentioned, because she knew the doula, but I really don't think I knew what a doula was. I'd heard of a midwife, but I
Mhm.
didn't use one.
Mhm.
And I just went the traditional route. My OB ended up being the older sister of a woman that I went to high school with. And so that was I'm not from New Haven, and so it would have just been picking out of a hat. And so literally I was like, "Oh, you're her sister?" "Yes, you." Like, it was the only sort of thing to connect
Familiarity.
to.
Yes.
And then she ended up being great.
Oh, good.
But the second time around when I had my second son, I did want to try the midwife route.
Mhm.
I still didn't go for a doula, and probably because I didn't have that connection with the one I tried to connect to. You have like these things get in the way, and unless someone really pushes you, you go, "Oh, okay, that wasn't going to work out anyway," and then you
Mhm.
just sort of rely on something that you know. So
Right.
again, looking back, I wish I had really looked for a birth doula, and then a postpartum doula would have been great.
Mhm.
But I did go for a midwife, and it was cool. But I think the overall experience of having to meet all of the doctors and
Mm.
all of the midwives and the team throughout the entire time just didn't feel like you got to know any one person, and then you're not sure who you're going to have on the day. So I I
Hey,
can't.
family, thank you for tuning in. Check out the full episode at our Labors of Love podcast YouTube channel. And while you're there, subscribe and turn on those notifications. Your support is truly appreciated. Peace.